up next, this 5-year-old little girl killed in a hit-and-run crash over the weekend. How you can help find the person responsible and get justice for her family.
Plus chaos caught on camera. A plane makes an emergency landing, crashing into a car that was just driving down the street. Fox 35 News at 5 is coming up next. I'll take a look at that right now on Fox 35 News at 5. It is a dreary Center Florida. That's a live look right now on I-4 in downtown Orlando, and you can see some of that rain on the camera lens today. Thanks for joining us. Not the best day out there. I'm John Brown.
No, it's kind of ugly. I'm Luann Sorrell. Let's get over to Fox 35 storm team meteorologist Noah Berggren. He is joining us live tonight. So Noah, you're tracking this rain while also keeping a very close eye on the tropics.
Yeah, you know, it's been quiet the last few weeks, but all of a sudden now we've got the showers here across the state and another system totally separate from the rain outside your window today that's potentially brewing off the coast of Nicaragua. So let's talk about it. We've now got a high chance of development with this system here shaded in red for the next few days. Now, this is probably going to be just a tropical storm, we think, in our best opinion and analysis, but it's going to drift towards eastern Cuba, Haiti, the Dominican Republic. It's no direct threat to Florida or the U.S. If it does become something, it'd be a tropical storm, maybe at the high end, a Category 1 hurricane. That'd be the absolute highest end. But it does look like it will be a very significant rainmaker for Jamaica, eastern Cuba, Haiti, the Dominican Republic. Check out these rain totals. A foot of rain could fall. So even though whether it's a tropical storm or a hurricane, regardless, and as you can see there, that could be a significant issue for the folks there in those spots. It does get a name, Whitney. Thankfully, right now we don't see any other system that could form in the next. So we'll hope that this is the last system for this season. We'll talk much more about the tropics and the rain here at home coming up a little bit later, guys.
All right, Noah, thank you. Some new details now. A flooding fix in Palm Coast. Last week, we told you that residents believe new construction is causing their properties to flood. And as Fox 35's Chris Lindsay explains, the city now has a solution.
Thanks, Chris. Also developing right now, Ocoee police are still hunting for the person who gunned down this Army veteran in Ocoee. Police say that Gregory Reed was killed at a BP station on Thursday night. Investigators say Reed was able to drive a short distance after being shot and then crashed in the Publix parking lot. And that is where he was found dead. Police are looking for the driver of a silver Mercedes SUV that was seen on surveillance video leaving the scene of that incident. And now, Fox 35 News update. The Salvation Army in Kissimmee could get a new facility this week. Earlier this month, police say a man intentionally set their old building on fire after getting upset. The Salvation Army has been working out of Destination Life building on Church Street.
We are learning new details about a deadly hit and run in Orlando. Investigators say 5-year-old Ayanna McCoy was killed in a crash over the weekend. Police are looking for the suspect. They believe that suspect jumped into another car and drove off. Well, the executive director of the One Pulse Foundation resigned this morning just a year and a half after being appointed. Deborah Bowie joined One Pulse last June after a nationwide search. Her resignation comes One Pulse returned $3.5 million to Orange County after plans for a multi-million-dollar museum fell through. But the foundation says they will not return money to individual donors. New at 5, chaos in the air causing an emergency landing.
Yeah, plane windows that were apparently left open or forced open somehow forced the plane on its way to Orlando to turn back to London, England. Fox 35's Marlisa Goldsmith joins us live from the Alert Center. So Marlisa, that plane was only in the air for half an hour, and this is just strange how this all happened.
Very pretty scary moments, too, for people on board that Florida-bound flight. The plane only in the air for 36 minutes before an aircrew member reported hearing a louder than usual noise. According to the report, there were external lights being used to shine through the cabin windows to give the illusion of a sunrise. But the lights were on for about 5 hours, and that is what caused thermal damage and distortion because of the elevated temperatures. Now the AAIB is still working to correct the issue. Live in the Fox 35 Alert Center, I'm Marlisa Goldsmith.
Marlisa, thank you. Well, if you live in Central Florida long enough, you may come across one of these big guys. There have been a lot of bear sightings recently, and a meeting is getting underway in about an hour. Fox 35's Deborah Cho is live in Sanford. So, Deborah, they're going to be discussing how we can live together better with these bears.
Yeah, you know, Luann, that's right. This meeting really is to help people kind of understand how we can live with them roaming around our Central Florida neighborhoods. And like you mentioned, we are no stranger to those things happening. Reporting live here in Sanford, Deborah Cho, Fox 35 News.
Thanks, Deborah. Now back to that deadly hit and run in Orlando. This 5-year-old little girl was killed in a crash. Her mother just shared these photos with us. The driver who hit her is still on the run, too. And tonight we have new details on who police are looking for. Fox 35's Marley Capper is live at the scene in Orlando. So, Marley, police believe the suspect jumped into another car and then took off.
That's right. And right now we know that the 5-year-old was killed and that her aunt was hurt. Now, police tell us they believe the suspect drove up here, crashed. You can still see the debris, and this stop sign is all bent up. Now, they believe that that driver got into another car and took off. Now, the principal also encouraged parents to talk to their students about this loss. And the girl told me that the mother says that her daughter was riding in the car with her siblings and her aunt, and this is when all of this happened. So really, they're just begging that anybody that has information to come forward. Police are asking the same thing. For now, reporting live in Orlando, Marley Capper, Fox 35 News.
Just heartbreaking, Marley. Thank you. Fox 35 News at 5 is just getting started. Still ahead, some scary moments caught on camera. A plane barrels through a fence, hitting a car that was just driving down the road.
Plus, final resting places disturbed by flooding for far too long. The problem is so bad that some graves have been unearthed. Family members of those trying to rest in peace have finally had enough.
And Donald Trump Jr. takes the stand. Now it's the Trump family's turn to go on the offensive. You're watching Fox 35 News at 5 on this Monday. We're so glad you're with us. Much more news after this quick break.
When the sun goes down, that's when this town lights up. Central Florida is full of energy. Your news should be too. Depend on Fox 35 for unique stories you won't see anywhere else. We'll tell you what you need to know. Plus, you can have a little fun and unwind before bed. We know you have choices, and we are not going to waste your time. I'm Marlisa Goldsmith. Join me late nights at 11 for the late news that won't put you to sleep.
Fox 35 Late News at 11, weeknights. Fox 35 is now streaming free on Fox Local. Download now.
We continue to track the tropics and what could be Vince in the next few days. This is not going to pose any threat to Florida, but it could cause a lot of rain across eastern Cuba and Jamaica. We'll let you know where it's going to go beyond this week coming up.
A follow-up to a story we brought you first on Fox 3 years ago. This cemetery has been underwater for a long time, and now hundreds of families are suing to get it fixed.
The problem was so bad that it unearthed some of the graves. Fox 35's Marie Ettinger is joining us live right now in Orange County. So, Marie, the lawsuit claims that a new subdivision is to blame here.
Right. People with loved ones buried cemetery say it never used to flood until the lawsuit claims this neighborhood over here added a new entry drive. People in that lawsuit claim a new water runoff design, everything straight into the cemetery. I did reach out to both the defendants listed on the lawsuit, but didn't hear back from either of them. In Orange County, Marie Ettinger, Fox 35 News.
Now, if there's a story you want us to investigate, let us know about it. Email us at fox35news@fox.com. And remember to include your name and your phone number.
Well, here's a live look right now from the Hard Rock Hotel, Daytona Beach. It is rainy, cloudy, definitely not a good beach day today. Well, Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Noah Bergeron is back with us now.
But it is a good nap day.
Oh,
it's one
yeah,
of these days where it's like, you know what, I'm not going outside, I'm going right back in bed.
Beautiful window day. Yeah. Stay inside.
All right, so this is just the start of kind of a rainy pattern this week, huh?
Yeah, you know, the last few weeks were so nice, and then all of a sudden we're just going to be endless clouds now for the next week. And we're probably not going to see the sun again until the weekend, unfortunately. So it's going to be a pretty dreary stretch here, but we've had worse weather this time of the year. All right, here's the big stories I'm tracking for you this week. The winds are going to whip all week. Inland, 15 to 25 mile-an-hour gusts. Along the beaches, 30 or higher mile-an-hour wind gusts, and that's going to cause some big surf. We'll talk about that more in a minute. Potentially unusual rains, particularly for Thursday. November is one of the driest months of the year in Florida. In fact, this Thursday, we could set daily records in many spots for how much rain is going to fall. snowfall, potentially 2 to 4 inches of rain, especially along the beaches in the I-95 corridor. But I get to be the bearer of good news for you. Just in time for the weekend, things are going to dry out and they look much better for this coming weekend. As we just showed you, here's Daytona Beach. There's drizzle, there's mist. I mean, the wind is blowing. It just doesn't feel all that great out. With the persistent east to northeast wind, coastal flood advisory is in effect for basically the entire east coast of Florida. This is for now through Wednesday. This will probably get extended as we get a little closer through the end of the week. Dangerous rip currents, some flooding of low-lying spots is possible, especially with the culmination of this wind as we go through multiple days. And the high tides this week will be about 8 to 9 a.m. Tuesday and Wednesday. There's the view from downtown. You see the rain on the lens, a little mist that's been going on all afternoon as well. Here's the view from our radar right now. You see that slate of clouds that's just kind of hanging low, and it's really not going to move for about 3-4 days. These are the wind gusts right now in miles an hour, north-northeast, 20 to 25 miles an hour, and the wind is not really going to change. It's going to be like it is now through at least Thursday night. Temperatures now 69 in Daytona Beach, 73 in Orlando, 70 in the Villages, which the temps are not going to move much either as we go through each night and day through the remainder of this week. As you can see, the wind is carrying those showers in from the Atlantic, little light showers coming in off the water. No storms expected tonight. You see a few showers here as well south of St. Cloud, but look to the west. There's a lot of rain in southern Texas and Louisiana. That's going to be coming here for Thursday. We'll come back to that in a minute. So here's the hour-by-hour forecast tonight. 11 o'clock p.m. Notice the onshore flow of showers and non-severe storms. If there was any thunder, it'd be pretty isolated. Temperatures tonight maybe fall a few degrees, not a lot. Tomorrow morning, here's 11 in the morning. Notice it's cloudy everywhere. Showers and storms at times, nothing severe, but occasionally you get hit by a downpour. Rain amounts tomorrow will vary quite a bit based on where you are. Tomorrow night, still cloudy. Now notice the flow starts to switch. Everything comes out of the south on Wednesday. The showers will move in from the south on Wednesday. Here's 1 o'clock Wednesday. And the temperatures will be remaining in the 70s. That pales into comparison, though, to what's coming Thursday. I'll show you the rain forecast and the hour-by-hour forecast for Thursday coming up in the next half hour. Thursday, there could be some strong storms and a much heavier coverage of rain across the area with temperatures in the mid-70s. 81 on Friday. A front comes through, and then there's what I teased you. It's going to be beautiful for the weekend. Low humidity, lots of sunshine, and highs holding out in the upper 70s. Guys.
All right, Noah, thank you. Coming up next, a plane goes out of control, crashing into a car. How this all happened ahead.
And we have an update from our Fox 35 Care Force Feed-a-thon on Friday. You helped donate more than 20,000 meals to families in need this holiday season. The Feed-a-thon helps support Second Harvest Food Bank. And so we want to thank everyone who came out and donated. That is a huge number this year.
You could win $500. Watch Good Day Orlando every day. Fox 35 News is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome back. Some scary video out of Texas. A plane goes off the runway and crashes into a car that was just driving down the road.
3 people hurt in this accident. The plane was making an emergency landing when it crashed near Dallas. A person who was passing by at the time took the video here. He says the plane went the entire length of the runway and, as you see right here, just kept on going all the way through the fence and then right into that car. Well, coming up at 5:30, Donald Trump Jr. takes the stand.
It is the Trump family's turn to fight back against the allegations against them. And some say what Trump Jr. says could change this trial. Plus, health or hype? When you get a cold, what medication should you take? And Fox 35's Esther Bauer is live with our big story at 5:30. Esther.
A crucial causeway here in Brevard could be on its way out. Coming up, why the county says it's polluting the Indian River and how a new study could help the issue.
Wake up with Fox 35's Good Day Orlando every morning. Join Amy, Ryan, Danielle, David. Jamie tells you what to wear and how to prepare. And Allison has the fastest route for your morning commute. More local news every morning. Fox 35's Good Day Orlando.
The big story at 5:30, a crucial causeway could be on the chopping block. This is the one that runs over the Banana River there on Merritt Island.
Experts say it's polluting the water, and the county wants to know if removing it will help. Fox 35's Esther Bauer is live for us in Brevard County. So, Esther, experts say the road is choking that river.
Well, that's because the Causeway is restricting the natural flow of water while trapping pollution and other marine life. And I want you to take a look at this. What we're zooming in on, this land was literally dumped in the middle of the lagoon to build State Road 528. But what you're looking at now could be changing in the future. And the Army Corps of Engineers out of Jacksonville would be the one conducting this study. If it is approved at Tuesday's meeting, experts say we could see results in about 2 years. Coming up tonight at 6, we ask experts why they'd be looking into changing this causeway right now when it's been here for decades. Reporting live in Merritt Island, Esther Bauer, Fox 35 News.
Esther, thank you. A Fox 35 update now. One of the 2 deputies who were ambushed in Hillsborough County is now out of the hospital. This video shows Deputy Manuel Santos leaving Tampa General over the weekend. Santos and his partner, Corporal Carlos Brito, were nearly killed in this incident on Thursday. They were responding to a mental health call when a man rammed right into them with his car. And investigators say the driver did it on purpose. Deputy Santos broke his leg and needed emergency surgery. Doctors say Corporal Brito is still in the hospital and may lose his leg. The suspect is in jail on no bond. And a fire chief in Brevard County escaped serious injury after this crash yesterday. Take a look at these pictures. Fire rescue says his vehicle was hit by a car while at a crash scene on I-95. The department posted these pictures on social media, stressing the importance of Florida's move over law. No word on if that driver of the other car was cited.
Well, Florida State Attorney Andrew Bain announced that he will run for re-election in 2024. Bain replaced the former state attorney Monique Worrell back in August after Governor DeSantis suspended her. Bain says in his first 100 days, the state hired 13 new prosecutors to clear the backlog of cases and to prosecute new cases. They also say that these improvements have helped increase the public's trust in the justice system.
We have implemented a more transparent process in our use of deadly force cases involving law enforcement officers by convening the grand jury in these cases.
Bain says he took more than 100 cases to trial in his first 100 days and has a 71% conviction rate. All 5 homicide cases that did go to trial ended with convictions. Well, state officials asking for an extra $42 million for a new state emergency operations center in Tallahassee.
The funds would be added to the original budget of $180 million. Officials say these additional funds will let them more than double the space for emergency and relief workers and will let the building handle winds of up to 200 miles per hour. The current facility is strong enough to withstand a Category 3 hurricane, which was not enough for Hurricane Idalia earlier this year.
Moving into a new EOC in 2025 is crucial to the state's ability to respond to emergencies. Currently, we have to evacuate the state EOC anytime a Category 3 or higher hurricane is heading for Tallahassee.
Funding request will be considered during the 2024 legislative session, which starts January 9th. Inside a New York City courtroom, former President Trump's defense team begins its case. Their first witness, his son, Donald Trump Jr. Fox 35's Eric Shawn recaps the day in court.
Well, you decide 2024. South Carolina Senator Tim Scott is now suspending his campaign for president. In an interview with Fox News, Scott revealed that he has no plans to endorse another candidate in the Republican field either. He says the voters have made it clear that this is not his time. Scott originally launched his campaign back in May. His decision to leave the presidential race comes after former Vice President Mike Pence suspended his campaign back in late October. Meanwhile, a new poll shows that Governor Ron DeSantis is gaining a little ground for second place in the race for the Republican nomination. As you see right there, former President Donald Trump still the clear favorite with 60% support, but the poll now has the governor 8 points over Nikki Haley, who is now in third place.
Inspiration for your holiday decor this year? Well, then head on over to the Orlando Museum of Art.
And Fox 35's David Martin takes us inside the Festival of Trees.
That is always such a great event. The trees are so pretty.
It makes me feel a little inadequate with my decorating skills.
Mine's pretty poor as well. Well, still ahead here on Fox 35. Health or hype?
Yeah, what should you take when you get a cold? The FDA says the main ingredient in those over-the-counter meds often doesn't work, so we're looking into what actually does work.
Plus, Americans butting heads over kids playing tackle football. Why some parents are putting that sport in the hot seat. Plus, Noah.
And it's kind of cloudy tonight, but guys, we've got ourselves an interesting little forecast for Thursday. We're tracking potentially heavy rain and storms, and as you can see over my shoulder, looking a little more interesting. Details for you about this weather event for Thursday coming up right after the break.
All right, Noah, thank you. But first, we're saving you some money tonight with the Fox 35 Pump Patrol. Gas is $3.14 at the WOFL, right near the intersection of Drive and Anchor Road in Altamont Springs. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Cold and flu season is here, and you may remember just a few weeks ago the FDA said the main ingredient in many over-the-counter cold meds doesn't work.
Yeah, stores across the country then pulled the drugs off store shelves, leaving a lot of people to wonder what actually does work. Fox 35 anchor Amy Caulfield went to the experts in this week's Health or Hype.
A live look now outside from our iDrive camera. Kind of cloudy, a little misty out. Not the day probably tourists were expecting to have when they came here to Florida. They were hoping to be a little bit more sunny and a little bit more warm, I bet. Well, Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Noah Bergeron is back with us now.
I'm laughing because my daughter's down there right now because she went because there are no lines.
Oh, I bet.
So she did Universal and Fun Spot in one day.
Well, people are probably waiting for tomorrow, but tomorrow's not going to be any better, is it, Noah?
You know, when people look for vacations, they probably see November in Florida. That's the driest month of the year. And here it's going to rain every day this week. So very unusual for the time of the year for Central Florida. And it's actually going to get pretty interesting by Thursday. We'll come back to that in a minute. Here's the view downtown, and from our radar, all we're tracking is a slate of clouds and some mist and drizzle as we go through the overnight. And it's going to feel kind of crummy, to be honest with you. It's not going to be all that pleasant outside with the mist hitting the side of your face, and especially along the beaches, it's quite windy. Here you see all the specks of green indicating those showers coming in off the water. That's going to be the case through the night tonight, and our weather spotters reporting much of the same. You see Deltona 71 degrees with just a little bit in the rain gauge. Dave in the Villages reporting no rain, at least as of when we got your observation, 72. And thanks to Joel in Clearmont, 74 there as of the observation. All right, so let's pick up the hour-by-hour forecast tonight at 7. The idea for tonight, it's cloudy, it's misty, there's fog. The fog won't be overly dense, but there'll be some fog around. The showers come in from the east and move to the west. No severe weather tonight or tomorrow morning. So here's the forecast at 5 a.m. tomorrow. Out the door to work and school, just grab an umbrella, grab a rain jacket. You're going to need it tomorrow and also Wednesday morning. Temperatures aren't going to move much tomorrow. The highs maybe get into the mid-70s. There's 1 o'clock. There's 3 o'clock tomorrow, but all things considered, it's not going to be all that nice the next few days. All right, so I told you about Thursday. We need to talk about this now because things are trending a little more active in the forecast guidance. So to make a long story short, this is actually complicated meteorology. I want you to notice this low Gulf. I know to some of you, you may look at I'm about to play it and go, that kind of looks like a tropical, because you see everything rotating around it. I can assure you it's not going to be tropical. It's just an area of low pressure in the Gulf. But what that's going to do way east of it is cause repeated rounds of showers, downpours, and storms. Looking at Thursday now, notice all the rain across central and southern Florida. And what is possible to happen is a secondary area of low pressure may form right off the coast of Melbourne and track up the coast Thursday evening. And that may help to enhance the rain and also the winds Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening. As of right now through Friday morning, here's how we see it. The chances of 2 inches of rain or more, which is very unusual for November. In fact, in Daytona Beach, there's only been twice in recorded history there's been a day with over an inch of rain on Thursday. And we could make this the third day in history, and that goes back to the early 1930s for records in Daytona Beach. Everywhere you see in the red, a high chance of over 2 inches of rain wouldn't shock me at all if there were a few reports of 3 or 4, maybe even 5-inch rain report in there. In the yellow, from Orlando to Leesburg, the Villages, Ocala, a medium chance as of right now for 2 inches or more of rain. And the bulk of that's going to be Thursday, and there'll also be quite strong winds. The winds on Thursday, the strongest of the week, could be 30 to 45 miles an hour, especially along the beaches. That all clears out on Friday, 81. The humidity goes away. The sky clears for the weekend. Good news to bear for you. Saturday and Sunday, guys, look much, much better.
Well, a lot of people are cutting the cord and switching to streaming.
But is it worth it? We're going to take a look at it. And Thanksgiving is right around the corner. Those containers of leftovers are about to become a way of life. But how long should you keep them in your fridge?
Wake up with Fox 35's Good Day Orlando every morning. Join Amy, Ryan, Danielle, David. Jamie tells you what to wear and how to prepare. And Allison has the fastest route for your morning commute. More local news every morning. Fox 35's Good Day Orlando. Fox 35 News is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
A consumer alert today, streaming services are getting much more popular.
But is it worth it to cut the cord from cable? For those looking to switch, it's important to keep in mind that many services have recently increased prices. While cable ranges between $83 and $125 a month, streaming could run you $147 a month on average, depending on how many add-ons or bundles you opt into. You could also drop the cost of streaming if you go with a less expensive plan that has ads.
All right, Thanksgiving leftovers are often the meal gifts that keep on giving, right? But how long should you keep that stuff in the fridge? Well, experts say seafood is good for only a few days, and store meat within 2 hours out of the fridge or when it's right after it's being cooked. And when you do put it in the fridge, make sure that you put it in a shallow container so it cools faster. Bottom line, just put it in the fridge as soon as you can and you won't have any problems. Yeah. And eat it fast too. That's the other bottom line.
They said 3 days usually is the max for leftovers.
And I don't know about seafood.
But you can push it maybe 4. No, seafood,
yeah.
no. 1 day, then throw it away.
Quick one.
All right, we are working on a lot of stories for the News Edge at 6.
Yeah, we start with Fox 35's Stephanie Buff-Monty. Steph.
Good evening, everyone. Meet Samba here. Samba will be hard at work pretty soon at the Lake County School District looking for vapes and other drugs. We're going to tell you all about this program coming up.
A school and a community is mourning the loss of a 5-year-old girl. Now her family and the police are asking if you know anything to come forward.
This cemetery has flooded multiple times in the past few years, and a new lawsuit claims the developers of a nearby subdivision are to blame. I'll explain why.
All right, the News Edge at 6 coming up in just a couple of minutes. There's a live look in downtown, a dreary night in Orlando.
I'm Marlisa Goldsmith. Join me for Fox 35 Late News at 11.